Alright, man, here with another video. This is gonna be about this nigga Chael Sonnen steady talking crazy about my dogs, Francis Ngannou. Now, I'm not the one saying that Francis Ngannou is this great mastermind that he knows exactly what he's doing with his career. Francis Ngannou, he's a heavyweight fighter, all right? He doesn't, like, being a heavyweight fighter does not require intelligence or brain prowess of any matter. You just gotta be good enough to wing and strong enough to knock somebody out. All right, that's all you need to be a good heavyweight fighter. However, Francis Ngannou is a very good heavyweight fighter. He is very strong. All right, I do not think that it's a great idea for Chael Sonnen to talk all that crazy about Francis Ngannou. I don't understand it. He has made like 5 videos about Francis Ngannou in the span of 23 hours now. It's absolutely insane. Like, bro, hop off the man's meat. I swear to God, this nigga Chael Sonnen, Francis will find him, bro. I'm telling you, Francis will find this man Chael Sonnen, and he will have to answer to what he's talking about, because he's been like, why do you care so much? Why do you care so much about Francis Ngannou signing to PFL? Like, fucking PFL. Like, I'm kind of disappointed, because what the hell is a PFL? Francis Ngannou is a real name. They put him in PFL. He's going to destroy some people. I would have liked for him to go to one championship, but apparently he said that he wanted to have, like, stock in the company or some shit. And they were like, no, we're not going to do that. But, I mean, let's be fair. They're probably capping, right? They're probably lying. The Chinese man is probably lying to everybody. Because, look, Ariel Helwani said that the reason why them one championship folk say that Francis Ngannou was asking for too much, that's why we didn't sign him. He said that the reason they did all that fiasco was because they already knew Francis Ngannou was not going to sign to them, so they tried to get ahead of the curve and be like, Francis Ngannou, we was about to sign him, but he asked for too much, so we say, fuck no, and we say, no, we're not going to sign you. So like, they were trying to save face. Like, of course, Francis Ngannou is not going to sign to you guys. So, like, if it came out that Francis signed to other guys, and these guys were trying to sign him, it would have made them look weak. And that's what the one championship guys was talking about. And apparently Chael Sonnen liked that so much that he said that Bellator should do that one too. Like, Chael Sonnen may actually be the person with the most CTE out of everybody that has ever fought ever. This guy Chael Sonnen, man, there's something off about him. He talks like he's a very smart guy, and he's like well articulated and shit. Talking about something. Conor McGregor is one of the greatest fighters of all time. Conor McGregor versus Eddie Alvarez, that was the most impressive performance of all time. Like, he always talks like he's a very smart guy with his high-pitched voice. But if we're being honest, he always just kind of waffles on about nothing. Like, Sports Illustrated put out a list, and it only had 2 people on it, and it was Mike Tyson and Oscar De La Hoya, who are the only 2 people who could sell a fight by themselves. Now, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if he made that shit up, but he always says that shit over and over. He's been talking about how there's only 2 people that could sell a fight by themselves, which is Mike Tyson and Oscar De La Hoya, for a long time. And this was the first time he actually sourced it and was like, oh, Sports Illustrated put out this list 15 years ago, and he always says it should be amended, and now it should have Conor McGregor and Mayweather added to it. What the fuck are you talking about? What does that have to do with Francis Ngannou? Like, of course, Francis Ngannou is not the biggest draw of all time. He's not even close to it. But if he was to go fight somebody, you're not a real combat sport fan if you're telling me that you would not care that Francis Ngannou is gonna go fight somebody. First off, he's the lineal heavyweight UFC champion. That alone makes it interesting, whatever he's gonna do. Second of all, he's Francis Ngannou. This man is a fucking beast. He's what he does is pretty much just sanctioned murder. Like, this guy is crazy, bro. The amount of people he has decapitated and in the manner that he has done it is absolutely ridiculous. This man right here is crazy. Like, the shit that he did to people in the UFC is, like, untouchable. And if he was to go to boxing, I believe that, like, Deontay Wilder, he would have a good chance against him. But any other, like, technical boxer heavyweights, he will probably lose. But all he has to do is land, like, one punch, and that's it. So anything that Francis does is automatically going to have a lot of interest to it. So I don't like people pretending like Francis Ngannou's stock is down. His stock is down to promoters, but not to fans. Do not lie to yourself and be like, I don't care about what Francis Ngannou does next. You do. You do care. That's why you're talking about it, dummy. You care enough to talk about how much you don't care about it. And you sure as hell are going to watch. If you want him to lose, you're going to watch to see if he loses, and you're like, oh, I was right, Francis Ngannou now has lost. Or if he wins, then you can then turn around and be like, I never said all that stuff, and try to be a fucking weasel. And I bet you Chael Sonnen is going to turn around. If Francis Ngannou, all this shit works out, Francis Ngannou gets a gigantic deal against some people and goes out there and starches somebody, Chael Sonnen is gonna come out and be like, I always was a big fan of Francis Ngannou and I always wanted him to win. And saying this really brings joy to us. Like, shut the fuck up, Chael. I don't want to see you celebrating with Francis Ngannou when he inevitably decapitates somebody wherever the fuck else he's gonna go fight for. I don't care if he's going to Street Beaks. I don't care what the fuck he's going to. He's going to kill somebody with his bare hands next time he fights. I guarantee you that. And if that doesn't happen, then you guys will get your a victory lap talking about some. I told you so. Francis Ngannou became worse without fighting because ring rust is a real thing. Like, chill, you gotta understand. Like, you cannot put yourself on the same scale as these guys. You always talk about like the world champions. And you talk about John Jones. John Jones, what he did to Cyril was not really that impressive. That takedown was clumsy. You're talking about these guys, and somewhere that waffle, which is a lot. There is just a point where you compare yourself to them. That is not fair, Chael. You cannot compare yourself to these guys. They actually went and did shit. You brought out there, said some funny shit, and people were like, oh, I like Chael Sonnen, he's cool. And you got title shots, and you got smashed. There's a difference. You're not Francis Ngannou. You're not John Jones. You're Chael Sonnen, all right? You're a meme. Oh, Chael Sonnen is undefeated. That's funny. Everybody thinks that's great. Chael Sonnen is really undefeated, undisputed. That's great. That's awesome. He almost beat Anderson Silva. Almost doesn't count. You cannot be like, oh, this could have happened, but it did not happen, but it still kind of happened. So, yeah, Chael lost to Anderson Silva, but he almost beat him, so it was impressive. I don't fucking give a rat's ass. This nigga never won the world championship, all right? He was never world champion. He was never the UFC champion. He was a decent enough contender on steroids. He beat some guys. He beat Shogun. He beat Michael Bisping. But other than that, he just got his ass whooped. He likes to waffle on about something. Oh, I was in world championship fights against like the greatest of all time. He was, but that's not because Chael Sonnen is so great they had to put him in there with John Jones to see who really was the better guy. That's because he got lucky. He wasn't it was a convenience thing. They ain't had nobody else for John Jones to fight, so they were like, oh, there you go, Chael Sonnen, go fight him. And oh look, he talked a little crap. They did a little Ultimate Fighter thing. They have Uriah Hall. There he goes. Let him fight. It was not that. That John Jones guy is pretty good at fighting, but Chael Sonnen, he may just be the guy to dethrone him. No, nobody was thinking that. That is retarded. Of course, John Jones was going to beat the shit out of you. But that is against the point. The point is, you need to stop talking crazy about Francis Ngannou. He may just boom you, bro. I'm telling you, Francis Ngannou will catch this man right here, Chael Sonnen, lacking in the squeeze. And he'll have to answer for all these videos that he's been putting out about my son. If you don't like the Francis Ngannou left the UFC, just say you don't like that he left the UFC and leave it at that, man. It is not that deep, bro. Francis will boom you. All right, he will boom this man. But, yeah, that's all I got to say about all that shit, man. Like and subscribe.